We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
Migrants surge at the border, a new Twitter CEO, debt ceiling talks postponed, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. The United States COVID-19 public health emergency expired Thursday. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will no longer require information from hospitals or testing labs about coronavirus cases, and it will stop tallying community infection levels. Official case counts will become harder to track as free testing programs are cut back and Americans increase reliance on home testing. The change marks a landmark in the nation's fight against a pandemic that has resulted in 1.1 million deaths in the U.S. There's no real mechanism to declare an end to the pandemic, but it is an end to the emergency phase, both in the U.S. and globally, said Crystal Watson, associate professor at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. With the end of the COVID emergency also comes the end of Title 42, and a surge of migrants overwhelmed officials at the U.S.-Mexico border as the Title 42 pandemic-related asylum restrictions expired on Thursday. U.S. border agents confronted about 10,000 migrants a day as the end of the program loomed, and migrants from several countries who traveled through Mexico to reach the U.S. made last-minute attempts to wade or swim across the Rio Grande to enter the United States before new restrictions took effect. Our buses are full, our planes are full, said Pedro Cardenas, a city commissioner in the border town of Brownsville, Texas, just north of Matamoros, Mexico. The Biden administration unveiled new restrictions to replace Title 42, requiring asylum seekers to apply using a new app or to seek protection in countries they pass through. But a federal judge in Florida has temporarily blocked parts of the Biden administration's latest immigration plan. U.S. District Judge T. Kent Wetherell sided with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' government and ordered the Biden administration not to parole some migrants crossing into Texas from Mexico. Wetherell, appointed by former President Donald Trump, said he fails to see a material difference between the rules and those a judge ruled unconstitutional in March. In both instances, aliens are being released into the country on an expedited basis without being placed in removal proceedings and with little to no vetting or monitoring, Wetherell wrote. The specific rule that Wetherell has put a halt to is that Biden was going to release illegal aliens on the streets of border towns. Daniel Penny, the Marine veteran shown in a video putting Jordan Neely in a chokehold on a New York City subway train last week, will be charged over Neely's death, the Manhattan District Attorney's Office said. Penny, age 24, will be charged with second-degree manslaughter and surrendered Friday morning. Witnesses said Neely, age 30, was acting aggressively but hadn't attacked any other subway passengers when Penny restrained him. Immediately after the incident, police questioned Penny and released him. Neely's death sparked protests calling for Penny's arrest from liberal activists. His lawyers said Penny and other passengers didn't mean to harm Neely, but tried to protect themselves until help arrived, when Neely acted aggressively, apparently due to ongoing and untreated mental illness. Neely had been arrested over 40 times and had an open warrant for assaulting a woman on the subway. This is the second time that District Attorney Alvin Bragg has brought charges against someone defending themselves and others against the rampant crime in New York City. Elon Musk announced Thursday that a new CEO will take over Twitter in 6 weeks. When the new leader, an as yet unnamed woman, starts the job, Musk plans to transition to being executive chair and chief technology officer. NBC Universal head of advertising, Linda Yaccarino, reportedly is in talks on taking the job. Twitter has lost advertisers as Musk eased content rules, and the left claimed that offensive posts increased, although when pressed for examples, no increase in offensive speech could be produced. The Twitter leadership cheered Tesla investors, many of whom had expressed concern that Musk's purchase of Twitter last year and his hands-on leadership of the social media platform was distracting him from his duties as CEO of the electric car maker. Tesla shares jumped more than 2%. President Biden and congressional leaders decided to postpone a scheduled Friday meeting on raising the debt ceiling until next week. Staff members will continue negotiations as the threat of a catastrophic June default on the nation's obligations looms. Biden had planned to host a second White House meeting with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, but all sides reportedly balked at elements in a potential deal. Republicans are demanding spending cuts in exchange for raising the debt limit. Biden and his fellow Democrats have insisted on raising the cap without conditions. Peloton is recalling 2.2 million exercise bikes because of the danger that the seat post could break during use, the company announced on Thursday. 35 people have reported to Peloton that seat posts on the company's original bike have broken and detached. 13 of the cases resulted in injuries from a fractured wrist to cuts and bruises, the company said. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission said in a news release that the bikes were sold by Dick's Sporting Goods and online stores, including Peloton's website and Amazon, between January 2018 and May 2023. Owners were urged to stop using the bikes immediately and contact Peloton, which is offering free repairs. That's the Raw Naked Truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.